They don't find a weak bone in his body. He's not to be dictated to. He's not to be controlled by outside forces. He's a man who says what he pleases. He goes where he pleases. He does what he pleases. For the very reasons that we love him. We love him because he unites us together as brothers and sisters. There are many who desire to control his tongue. You have heard so much about him, but in a few minutes you're going to hear from him. Good brothers and sisters, the haters are on the outside. All I feel is wall-to-wall, wrap-around love.
All right. I want to thank everybody for checking in and tuning in to another episode of the Daily Cope. I am Paulo the G. I am the Philly Special, and I am here once again to go through some topics that may or may not be on your mind, but let's talk about them. First, I'd like to say thank you for those who did follow in this last week, and to like, follow, and share. And comment. I know everybody doesn't agree with me. If you don't agree with me and you don't agree with what I'm saying, just feel free to comment and let me know how you feel. I promise you I will address it. I may address it in the comments. I may address it with an episode. So the more comments we get, we can make a section where I address all the comments. But anyway, crazy week. This has been like one thing after another. I can't even say it's snowballing. It's like snowball. It's like avalanche. It's coming from everywhere. Both political intrigue and like just embarrassment on a national stage. And it's something that usually I never had to think about growing up. I want to really say that I was proud to be an American. And that's like that. That's not even a joke. That's not even like I am that guy. I love that. I believe this nation was better than a lot of other nations for the reason that I thought that we were all about equality. But I see now that is not the case.
Hey, remember when there weren't so many Mexicans? Oh, I remember. Remember when marriage was just between a man and a woman? I remember. Oh, I remember. Yeah. Remember feeling safe? Remember no ISIS? Remember Reagan? Oh, I remember. Oh, remember.
But anyway, but with that said, the pride that I have in our nation is different from the pride that most Americans have in our nation. A lot of Americans believe that we are an unbeatable force, a dominant force. They bellyache over how dominant our military is and how much better our military is, and that's something that can't be equated. That's like, saying Muhammad Ali was better than Mike Tyson. It's different times, in different situations, different opponents. If you want to say firepower, if you want to say, okay, well, we can obliterate and totally destroy a whole nation with our firepower. Okay, that is true. But that's not war. That's just massacre. That's murder. That's genocide. And if you're talking about that, then what are you really talking about? The hubris of this nation is not, and I'm not going to come at the soldiers today. I'm going to give the soldiers their due because they do the best with what they're dealing with, and that includes like their higher ups, their commanding officers, and their commander in chief. But I'm coming at Americans in general today because I hear a lot of people when we talk politics, a lot of what I have to say now is, but look, what about those wars that we're getting in? What about Venezuela? What about Iran? What about bombing Nigeria on Christmas? Like what about these things? And people are just like, but like, what if every nation really did kind of gang up and decide that we are the Nazis here? Because we are. We haven't been as full-throated with the world domination thing, but we are just imposing our will on other people, which is unacceptable. And when I talk to people about that, they seem to not care. And I believe that is a form of hubris, where we think that we can beat anybody. If you look at the way that all of the world's strongest dictators in history, and this is something and anyone who knows me should be able to tell you this, that I've always studied that throughout my life. Napoleon's, Alexander the Great, the Genghis Khan's, Hitler. But if you look at how all of them failed, they failed the same way. They fought on too many fronts. Their hubris in their belief in themselves. Now, the definition: extreme or excessive pride, arrogance, and self-confidence, often resulting in a fatal downfall. Now, that's the key here. For years and years in our lives as Americans, we have had a comfort, a cushion. Ever since the Civil War, really, we've never had any blood on this soil in the war sense, because we did have a lot of killing of the brown and red types in the 50s, 60s, 70s. But we have had a comfort that we believe that our forces are the strongest. And I believe that for the most of my life, at least, that the rest of the world also believe that. But, hatred will do some things. Now, to go deeper into the word, rooted in Greek tragedy, it describes characters' defiance of God's moral norms. Modern usage denotes overconfidence that causes individuals to act recklessly, disregarding common sense. That's where we are now. That specific breakdown, and we'll use God's in the way of morals, and it says morals. Gods are morals. But the things that our president and his cabinet and his defense secretary and so on and so forth are doing are so in defiance of humane morals that the rest of the world, and if you can't see this, the rest of the world is looking at us right now and talking amongst themselves about what to do with us. And if you believe that our military is so strong and so dominant, I'm telling you now, look at the history. Maybe our weapons are, but the caliber of soldiers, these people. We have to be real with ourselves. And I feel like it's one thing for Donald Trump and his idiots to be out there spouting off stupid stuff, but it's another for me as a foreigner to go online and see the average American talking that same way as if they serve themselves. Another thing about Americans that gets me is that we talk a lot of shit for our soldiers to back up. We talk a lot of shit for our soldiers to back up. First of all, if you're the big dog, you don't have to tell everybody you're the big dog. For you to keep talking shit, the song Leroy Brown, Bad Leroy Brown comes to mind. Do not let your reputation precede you. There's no need to, if you believe you can beat the world, and just knowing that should be enough. But for us to keep, you go online, man, I see some of the most beat people in the world who could never even get through basic, talking about the military, we're the baddest in the world. Shut the hell up and stop playing Call of Duty. You don't know what we are. Because any real soldier will tell you that they ain't all like that. Every soldier is not built the same. There are some real ones out there. I know a bunch of them. But they will tell you for every one of them, there has to be one or two that are just absolutely deficient in some way. They may be able to make it through the training, but they're not. They're mentally effed up. Do not let hubris be the downfall of the United States. And we are on that road. And especially don't let it be behind a man who would never set foot on a battlefield, no matter what. The biggest coward in the world. He will send you all out there. Have we not seen this story before? And if you think that the Europeans love us like you think that they do, or you think they're afraid of us that way,
have a seat, you big dummy.
You don't understand. They had to deal with Hitler. We didn't. They had to deal with that. And they see that in Vladimir Putin, and they don't want to do that again. And they see our president allying with Putin. Are you serious? And this is going to be all of your children that go to these wars. He's just shooting bombs now, and if not, and he's just going to decimate every place that ever raises a hand to him, then we are the most immoral country in the history of the world. Sweet karma. When I looked at this topic, I didn't know quite what it was, but it did all automatically send me to a bunch of different places, especially with what's going on right now. Let's say the first one, my first thinking of what this topic was. It was that the Sleepy Joe comments, and he was demented and had Alzheimer's and he couldn't stay awake. He's not really, directing the government. He's being run by a shadow government, puppeteering him. And then you look at our current president, who was sleeping so hard, half of the side of his face drooped like he had a stroke. His brain went to sleep. That's how hard he was sleeping. He has so many signs of dementia and early onset Alzheimer's. And I'm not diagnosing him. I'm just saying. But he was like that before. You just aren't seeing. You weren't all seeing it till now. This comes from 4 to 5 years of me watching every single Trump interview and rally that was on the web and everything. You laughed and Joe was too slow. He's walking off. He's doing this. He can't move. When have you ever seen Trump get on a bike or even jog or even move faster than what he does now?
This is America.
Ever. It's funny. Now that's one. 2, hearing the barrage of hatred that Trump is getting from everybody right now.
I was wrong to support Donald Trump. That was a big mistake. He's worse. We'd be better off with Kamala Harris. We'd be better off with Joe Biden. He's worse than the Democrats.
It's just great. And even better hearing the right wing, the MAGAts.
And I know you're not willing to go there, but I am. I really want to know, what is his mental state and who is he doing this for? Because it's not for the American people. He's lying. He's gone back on what he promised. No more foreign wars, no more regime change.
Whine and cry about, oh, you need to support the president. You're anti-American because you don't support the president. And the things they said about Obama. And do you remember Let's Go, Brandon?
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Remember feeling safe? Remember no ISIS? Remember Reagan? Oh, I remember. Oh, remember.
You literally said, fuck Joe Biden, all the way through all the 4 years of that man pulling us out of that pandemic that your president made us fall ass backwards into. Wrong? Right or wrong? So for you to say now that we need to respect the president is just laughable. It's just laughable. And then he's still just like, how the sweet karma of what you get, the song is, you can't always get what you want. I said you can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. And that is exactly what you guys are getting right now. You're getting those stones rolled. Okay? And just take it and accept it. You asked for it. Let everybody else on the side. Remember, you were ignoring the liberals and the liberal tears. Well, you ignore these tears of laughter as well. Okay? You go on. Follow that dude off that cliff. We're going to watch you fall off that cliff. No one's reaching an arm out to save you. No one's going to stop you from drinking that Kool-Aid. There you go. Sip. Let it get inside you. I am done with that. The sweet karma of farmers being helped by Live Aid and Democratic Congresses and administrations for years. Getting screwed in such a fashion, like within 4 years, he set it up so that you would lose everything. And he holds the key. He's telling everybody else he gave it to you. He still hasn't even given you that money yet, that $12 billion bailout. He's holding it so he can get as many of you to go bankrupt as possible. 15,000 farms just in the last year have gone bankrupt. And they're getting bought up by J.D. Vance real estate company where they're trying to build up servers. And they're getting built all over the place. You guys don't even know how hard you have been rolled by a real grifter. The average intelligence of Americans have gotten so low that one grifter grifted hundreds of millions of people at the same time. And the sweet karma is that you have no one to blame but yourself. And every single member of that man's cabinet is lily white. So I would love to see how you gonna blame blame black people or minorities in general. The sweet karma is, if you're going to blame a minority, you will blame, say, the Latinos. But the karma is that they're getting exactly. See, the funny thing is the Latinos who are still I still will vote for Trump again. That's just because someone hasn't been vindictive and called ICE on you yet. You don't have the right to ever again get loud with someone. Next time you call someone a nigga, they could just call ICE on you. And yeah, you may be a citizen, but do you trust that with the ICE agents? And if they like you or not, right? So that's karma, bro. And that's I've heard stories about that online already, but that really hasn't become a real big thing yet because Latinos still think think it's funny, even though once again you're going to get destroyed financially. Small businesses, Latinos own a lot of small family businesses, and especially when you're losing relatives and you're losing jobs at the same time, it's going to be tough. Going to be tough. So, that goes, this topic goes on forever. The sweet karma of all the progressives who talked and who swore they were smarter than everybody else, and they were going to vote against Kamala but not vote for Trump. That was a real novel idea. First time anyone's thought of that. Vote for the third party, you fucking idiots. And or the undecided or undeclared, whatever they called them, their stupid selves, whatever the idiots who follow Hassan said. And then what happened to Gaza? You know what's funny is that the worse things got for Gaza as it is right now, because it's really bad, they got more quiet. Why is that? What's happening in Gaza right now? You think Hassan will go to the casino when they open it in Gaza? My bet is Hassan will be in Dubai within 2 years doing a live stream that you're all watching. But the karma just goes on forever. The same thing with the all the black conservatives. You will be laughed at forever. I don't even have to go into the millions of ways he's played you. And then he's ruined you, and then you're all the ones who didn't get invited for Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner. Like, come on, man. One of these days, people are going to get it. The way to get out of this shit and to stop screwing yourself is to make sure that there's nobody that's screwed. If nobody is getting screwed, there's no one getting. I mean, that makes sense right there. If no one's getting screwed, no one's getting screwed. Right? If you look out for the next man, and everybody keeps looking out for the next man, it just by design has to come back around on you tenfold. Looking at the numbers on Earth, but that's just me. But karma is back. It is alive. It is real. And I am here for all of it. Okay. Now for a uplifting part. Well, it depends on how you look at it. I don't know if anybody watches him that knows me, but I know a lot of people do watch it. And they may have seen it and may not know who it is. It's a group. It's two guys who go out and they basically interview people at Trump rallies, and I think they've done some stuff at like Democrat stuff too, but at like protests. But this is last episode I did something on Dean and Parker, and I don't know how people are going to take it. They may take it as if I was kind of shitting on them, but I really wasn't. I was kind of giving them praise, but just like kind of giving a little bit of coaching there as well. But I'm Philadelphia and everything comes out as hate. So, but these guys are the flip side. These guys they're doing the exact same thing that Dean and Parker are doing, where they're showing how ludicrous and stupid the right-wing talking points are, and the people who are trying to parrot these talking points that they hear but don't even really understand. It's just buzzwords. And they're showing the lack of defensibility on their stances, and they're doing it for millions to see, which is great. I love that. These guys don't do it on a in a preachy way though. They do it so effortlessly that these people at these rallies and shit like that, they don't even notice it. Like they still talk with them. They know they're getting played, but they still don't even feel it because they're just asking simple questions, which is all it takes in most conversations. And this is what I've learned. I've gotten in some heated conversations where the only things that I've said were questions, and that's why and where and how. And people have such a lack of ability to answer those questions, which are the most basic, right? And that's what is going on in America today, because most people shut down in those when it gets to the point where they're frustrated in the conversation, rather than trying to learn. Everybody's trying to teach somebody, and no one's trying to learn. Right? That's the give and take of conversation. Everybody wants to be the knowledgeable one, but you can't be the knowledgeable one unless you acquire the knowledge. You must learn it.
You must learn.
That doesn't mean you've read it in the book only. That doesn't mean you know an anecdote of someone who told you this happened to them. It means it's logically thought out. It's a process. You take all of those bits of information and make them. But yeah, I was getting too deep. But the good liars make they really. It's one thing if a black person were doing this, but for it to be two white guys and for them to be totally non-aggressive and just prove points such as this.
For that,
because this is a picture of him surrendering.
Yeah, but we're never going to surrender.
But that's a picture of the moment that he turned himself in, he surrendered.
Yeah, but that's not, what's surrender? There's no surrender.
No, but he did on film here. That's what a mugshot is, when you surrender to authority.
Want to give you, but it's not.
What does the shirt say?
Trader Joe's, everything's for sale.
And what does that mean? It means we got a worthless president and don't care about the people. He's wanting money.
Yeah. In what respect?
Well, just the shady business dealings that he's had to do with the son, and I mean, he sniffs kids. So there's a whole lot of problems that we talk about.
Are you talking about his son-in-law getting the $2 billion deal from Saudi Arabia?
Well, that Hunter, all the stuff with Burisma and things like that.
Is that shady to work in office and then make a deal with Saudi Arabia for $2 billion?
Well, if Biden's name's attached to it, I'm pretty sure it's shady.
Okay. But no, that's Jared Kushner. That's Trump's son-in-law.
Well, that may be. I don't know. I'm not real up on that, but
okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Now, the complete unknowing of the actual facts that they were so proud about at the beginning is what really, it blows my mind, and it happens again.
This says Trump 2020, make liberals cry again. But Trump's the one who's not in office. So the liberals were happy about the 2020 election. So if there is a group that's crying about it, it would be conservatives.
He was first elected, and we were trying to, in 2020, we were trying to make that happen again, make them cry again.
But then he lost.
He lost, right, and now they're doing everything they can possible to stop him from even running in 24.
But if you had to say who's been crying about the 2020 election, who would it be?
How Joe Biden has handled the last 3 years.
Come on, man, they suck. I mean, he sucks. Plain and simple.
What's the worst thing that he's done? What's a bad thing that Joe Biden has done?
Where do I start, man? Really?
Yeah.
Come on, give me something, y'all. Come here. Come on, give me something. Something bad that Joe's done.
Gay marriage, does that affect you?
Absolutely.
How does it affect you?
Because you're forcing that onto my children. You're forcing that onto my grandbabies.
But how is it forcing it on them?
Look at it, man. It's all over the place. You go to the grocery store, you got to look at that.
But why does that matter? Why does that matter?
Cartoons, for crying out loud. Exactly.
But
you, high five.
Listen. You're high five, but gay people exist, right? Why is that?
It
why
is
that?
What it is, but don't force it over on me. I exist, okay? I exist as a straight man, all right?
But nobody.
Wait a minute. Why are you forcing your lifestyle over on me?
Who's forcing you to be gay?
Joe Biden and his crew.
Joe Biden's forcing you to be gay?
No, not forcing me. Make sure you get that right. I ain't gay and ain't got nothing to do with it, okay? Don't ask me.
No, but I thought you're saying he's forcing you. He's forcing you to be gay, or he's forcing you to be. What's he forcing?
The whole party is forcing their lifestyle over onto us. Period.
Nobody's forcing you to be gay. It's just so people can live the life how they want to live without persecution.
They are putting in schools, in our education for our children, okay?
Yeah.
That it's okay to be that way, and it's not. But it's ungodly. Period.
But you're saying like
period. There's no answer. There's no more question to that. Period.
So in the Bible, in Leviticus, it says, "If a man lays with a man, he should be put to death."
Also, you be careful. Okay.
Also in Leviticus,
we're gonna go to eternity, and we're gonna answer for all this, right?
I look forward to it.
Right.
Also in Leviticus, it says, if you spill your seed, you need to give 2 turtle doves to a pastor, a priest. Spill your seed meaning ejaculate. Have you given turtle doves to priests or pastors like it says in the Bible?
No.
You haven't?
No.
And the fact that these people also think that so much is getting forced on them, and that and we're not realizing that they're the ones doing the forcing. I have never met a gay person that said, you know what, we got to make everybody gay. Never. Not once. I've heard them say they believe everybody's gay, but that's another thing. But I've never heard them say we've got to make everybody gay. Like I have heard the right can tell people who they can love, where they can love, how, what they can watch, what they can listen to. They were the religious right was so torn, you know. And this is a contrast that's funny to me. The same people who voted for Trump are the same people who back in the 60s and 70s were out there protesting against KISS. And when Trump got in here, the first Kennedy honors he gave was KISS was one of those. And the right wing was so happy, especially because Gene Simmons and the rest of the band came and they didn't protest. And it's just like, wait, look at this full circle idiocracy. These are the same people. And guess what? Gene Simmons isn't it Gene Simmons? Yeah, I think Gene Simmons he's a demon. He's had sex with thousands of women, boastfully, and he's married. He has no respect for anything. He also speaks up for the genocide in Gaza. Not speaks up for it, but he backs the genocide in Gaza. Like, and it's just funny how you people you really have no morals. And the only reason why you fuck with him now and didn't fuck with him then is because now he is a face, he's known, he has money, he has power. So that's what you love and respect. You don't respect Christianity and humanity. You don't respect anything. You don't respect the tradition. He put his name over John F. Kennedy, the most beloved assassinated president, on the only memorial we have to the man. Trump put his name over that. Like, you people have got to be kidding me. But anyway, this show is perfect if you guys want to try to ease someone into seeing the opposite of MAGA and kind of help take the sheen off their eyes. This is good stuff to actually watch. I love these guys. They're hilarious. And like, just get to see what Trump supporters really are. It's also get to see what you're dealing with before you start arguing with it, because it's really not an easy task to get through to people like this. So yeah, just wanted to do that because I just want to let people know kind of some of the kind of stuff I take in and stuff that I think that you should watch as well. Now to a topic that is very important to me. One of my true loves, and I'm serious. Like, once again, anyone who knows me knows that I am an MMA hardcore fan. I believe that I could be a commentator if I was given the chance. I would definitely do better than Ariel Helwani, but I found myself over the years noticing that two things: that it was becoming more tribal, and but not in the sense of, I thought it was like, oh yeah, Americans all the time, but it was tribal in race. Like white people root for white people, black people root for black people, which I saw not to be a good thing. But I always had fighters that I loved from all over the place, but that's because I was into the sport before UFC was a thing. A lot of people became fans of MMA through UFC. And first of all, there was no MMA before UFC. Let me make that clear to everybody. That is a term that was created when they tried to find a way to defeat the Gracies after Royce kept kicking their ass in a tournament. It started becoming real tribal. And I also noticed the second thing being, it was becoming more and more like wrestling. Like now, and this is not to shit on wrestling. I everyone will tell you I grew up a wrestling fan. I'm very deep in the knowledge of wrestling and professional wrestling and collegiate wrestling to let you know as well. But professional wrestling gives people a false belief of what being tough is and what's like really going on now. Knowing that what we know now, that that MMA has had a bit, well, I'm not gonna say MMA has, UFC has had a betting scandal that has been identified. And it's funny, I want you to look at how that scandal was identified in the UFC and how it was identified in the NBA. And how it was identified in, I forgot what the other sport they just caught somebody in. I really just can't remember. But look at how those were handled, being that Dana White is a good friend of the president. the fact that there was that scandal, and being how I know that they have these fights that they hype up, and these guys talk super shit, talk crazy to each other, and say all types of things, go extra crazy.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga. I should point out for the record, Stevie Ray.
I feel like it makes me feel like it's all fixed, as if it was never real. And this goes into all sports, and I know people are like, oh yes, I knew it. No, I'm not going into the super like, oh yeah, it's all scripted out. That's dumb. That's stupid. All you have to do in order to fix sports is the same thing they did back when they made when the mobsters ran boxing and racketeering. I mean, not racketeering, the numbers and the betting. All I got to do is control the refs. The referee can make any fight go any way that he wants it to go. Plain and simple. He can break team spirits. He's the best. If he knows what he's doing, he can make it all look like just a regular game. I believe that all sports are fixed in that way. And this is also my issue with sports being connected to betting. Because see, if I'm the betting house and I see that if I lose this right here, it's going to make us lose money overall or lose profit, I'll just give the call to Dana, like, yeah, I need such and such to win. To like, here are the odds. I need such and such to do this in the fight. And all of the push bets they got, they don't even have to throw the whole fight. They could just make it go early so you don't get those second and third round bets that you made for the knockout in the third or the 112 strikes in the third. It's all fixed. When will the people realize if you just stop giving them money, you stop feeding the beast? But I'm getting off point. I'm kind of on point, but I'm getting off point. MMA has become trash now. It's become trash because of the dominance of the UFC and using his bully market to try and destroy ONE and the PFL, like he did the Bellator and Pride. And so that makes, because I'm going to tell you right now, the PFL has some good fighters, and Bellator had a lot of good fighters. ONE has some good fighters, but they're not getting the eyes, and they're not getting the money, and not getting the recognition. We as people have to really show Dana that UFC is not the only ticket out there. And now he's connected with the WWE. It's horrible. This is not a good product. The UFC has now become professional wrestling. Look at how they act. They come out dressed in costumes. They come out saying racial stuff just to get people amped up. So it's the bad guy and the good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is just stupid. What kills me is that they're not even getting paid like professional wrestlers, bro. At best, they are. Maybe they are. But The Rock made more money than these moron fighters, man. And then the message that is pushing of, like, this is like an alt-right pushing movement. This is why Dana White loves Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland was a skinhead. You don't give a guy like that a platform. You can let him fight for you, but you don't give him a platform and try to push him out there to kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys just don't realize what's going on in front of our faces, and MMA is a big part of it. But luckily, the fighting has become trash, and people are noticing it. I mean, obviously not the guys who don't have no deep thought, the guys who are going along with the propaganda they're being pushed. But most real fucking aficionados of mixed martial arts are seeing, like, this is a trash product, and in anything you're talking about putting on at the White House is trash, with the exception of him saying that he's going to put Carlos Prates in there with Conor McGregor. Oh Lord, look, let me tell you right now, Carlos Prates can quickly become one of my favorite fighters. if he beats the dog shit. Well, that's not even an if. If he gets in the ring with McGregor, he's going to beat the dog shit out of him. I'm going to guarantee that. But if Dana does that, that shows you the slime ball that Dana is that he will sacrifice his cash cow who got him the recognition that he has. And if he does not have John Jones fight there, I would never pay for that pay-per-view. Like, that's crazy. Why would you, if you're doing something legendary, why would you not have the legend fight? Like, and I don't care what you guys have to say about John. Like, I'm.
Last thing.
It's you only prove my point. Like, MMA is just falling apart and crumbling. I don't hear the same people complaining about the heavyweight division like they were. How's the heavyweight division being held up by John? Who's it being held up by now? And why didn't he just drop the belt? If he knew he was going to have surgery, which is a lie, I'm sure of it. I'm 100% sure it's a lie. As soon as he said, and the first night after that, he had a friend who was an eye doctor who was going to look at it after the surgeon in America looked at it. I knew it was already fixed. He's just going to say whatever to make sure that he's covered up, but he still doesn't realize he can't beat Cyril. Cyril going to beat the dog shit out. I hope Cyril like punishes that dude like this time. I hope he laughs at him and licks the blood off his gloves, all that. The MMA is just such a damn show. It's ridiculous. It's laughable, and I used to love it. I used to be consumed with it. You guys don't even understand, but you tell me what you think. You know what I mean? I can't be crazy. It can't just be me. If you're telling me you think MMA is good, tell me why Dana keeps trying to praise Bo Nickel. When I've never seen anybody get embarrassed. Like, no, I did see somebody else get beat by knees like that, but it was way more vicious. It was Rampage Jackson and Shogun Rua. In Pride, years ago. Good fight though. Good fight. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. Okay. So we're going to close out the show with a topic, basically, of a word that I feel like I created, but maybe not. For the worst of the worst of the right wing MAGA followers. Now, MAGA is a cult, yes, right? But you can get out of a cult. There are people who are so deep in there that they know what they're getting, that what they're saying is a dog whistle from the president of what MAGA is really about. And MAGA is really about get brown people out of here. Brown people are the reason why we're not all rich. Get them out of here so we can all be rich, happy, and white together. And then we won't have to mix blood with anybody else. I can marry my niece and my cousin, and it'll all be good. That is the MAGAts. And they come in all shapes and sizes. There are black MAGAts who, for some reason, believe that they're going to be accepted after all the brown people are gone. The only reason why they accept you now is because they feel like they have to, and you're praising them, so that makes all the other ones look bad. That's the only reason why you're acceptable, right? So as soon as everybody else is gone and they don't have to accept you, what do you think that you're going to get? What do you think you're going to get? Like all these guys in this picture here with clavicular. You got Senor Fuentes, who I don't, some kind of Latino. Myron, who is Sudanese, I believe. Then you got Sneeko, who is just like a piece of shit. And then, and then the Tate brothers, who are mixed. So this is what these are maggots. Now, they don't really believe in politics. They believe in the idea of getting in politics and fixing it so that you could cheat to win all the time, like a lot of people are. Those are the ones who are like the Patriots fans who are like, yeah, Deflategate, yeah, we cheated, so what? You're not cheating, you're not trying. That's a maggot. Like in sports, I hate that, but I can get that. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to racially being people being racially oppressed, children being starved and not receiving benefits that I pay taxes so that poor kids can eat and old people don't have to ever worry about not having a home and not having a meal and not being able to live dignified. That's what I pay taxes for. I don't pay taxes to blow up Nigeria. I don't pay taxes to blow up Iran. I don't pay taxes to arrest doctors for doing trans surgeries. I don't pay taxes for that. I don't care about that. Not saying I don't care as in like if something bad has, if it's something bad. No, that's not my business. Like those things are other people's business. You take my money to hurt other people, and I'm supposed to be down with that. But you're letting these kids out here starve. You're letting old folks have to struggle just to get the medication they need. Let them get overcharged by these companies that are making billions upon billions of dollars. At this point, I have no respect for you people. The maggots, the people who someone who would still rock that hat, someone who was like covering for him, even though like even if you said, you know what, I'm still MAGA, but fuck him because he's a slime ball and he lied to us about the Epstein files. Like the fact that you're not disturbed by the shit in there, you claim that he's being framed is insane. We are at a level right now where the Nazi Party is real, and they're called the MAGAts. They are really willing. They're willing to knowingly cheat. These are the ones who were in those text messages saying how they're only fucking with black people so they could get their vote. But as soon as it's over, they sending y'all to the chambers, bro. Like, you better wake up. Luckily, they're idiots and they're all inbred, so they're not too bright. So that's the good part. But they have a lot of power and they have done a lot of damage that's going to be hard to overturn. But they did leave us an outline in Project 2025. We know exactly how to reverse engineer it. So show up in the midterms, dumb motherfuckers. Thank you for showing up to the Daily Cope. I am your boy, Apollo the G. I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you next week with a new list of things to complain about. Everybody, take care. Good night.